Here's a conversation that happens in marinas all over the country, and it usually ends with a boat being sold. A woman who has been out on the water for 20, 30 years suddenly finds herself running the boat alone. Her husband can't manage it anymore, or he's gone, and everyone around her assumes that's the end of it. Sell the boat, move ashore. But here's the thing they're all getting wrong. The problem was never the boating. She already knows how to run that boat. The problem is that a few specific jobs on the wrong boat require brute strength. And that's a design problem, not a person problem. Pick a boat that engineers those jobs away, and nothing has to end. By the end of this video, you'll know 7 trawlers built exactly that way. And number 1 takes the hardest job on any boat and makes it a button. So let's be precise about what actually makes a boat hard to run alone, because it isn't boats are heavy. It comes down to about 4 moments. The first is docking in wind. That's when a boat wants to drift sideways and you need force to stop it, and that's where people get hurt. The second is handling lines. On a badly laid out boat, you have to leave the helm, run down a narrow deck, and try to lasso a cleat before the boat gets away from you. The third is the anchor. A manual windlass or a heavy chain is genuinely brutal work. And the fourth is visibility. If you can't see your corners from the wheel, you're guessing, and guessing alone is stressful. Every one of those 4 is a solvable engineering problem. A side door at the helm solves the line problem. Thrusters solve the docking problem. Number 7, the Ranger Tug R25. Let's start small and easy, because small solves a lot of problems on its own. At 25 feet, this boat is light enough that wind has less to push against. It fits into almost any slip, and you can see every corner of it from the helm without moving. Everything is within a few steps. The lines, the fenders, the controls, so nothing about handling it involves running anywhere. It has a bow thruster, which turns sideways, docking into a fingertip job, and a single modern diesel that's efficient and quiet. And here's the part that matters for independence. It's trailerable. That means you're not tied to one marina and one set of dock neighbors. You can keep it at home, launch where you like, and go wherever you want without asking anyone for help. For someone taking over the boating on their own for the first time, starting at this size is a genuinely smart move. You build confidence on a boat that forgives you, rather than fighting something big while you're learning to trust yourself. What to look for. Confirm the thruster and check that the helm layout suits your height and reach. Sit in the seat before you buy. The next boat is the one that makes docking feel almost unfair. Number 6, the Camano Troll 31. This one shows up on every solo list for good reason. It's compact, incredibly simple, and it has the visibility that makes running a boat alone feel calm instead of tense. From the helm, you can see where the boat ends. That sounds obvious, but on a lot of boats you genuinely cannot, and docking becomes an exercise in guessing and hoping. On a Camano, you know exactly where you are. The single small diesel is famously economical and simple enough that maintenance isn't intimidating, and the whole boat is proportioned so that one person can manage it without hurrying. And here's a practical point about the ownership side, because it matters just as much as the boat handling. A boat this simple means you're not dependent on a mechanic for every small thing. Independence isn't only about docking alone. It's about not needing to call someone every time something needs attention. The Camano owner community is also exceptionally helpful, which is worth real money when you're figuring things out. What to look for. Check whether a thruster has been fitted, and if not, budget for one. It's the single best upgrade you can make. The next boat has the feature that changes everything. Number 5, the Willard 30 Vega Voyager. If you take one idea from this whole video, make it this one: the pilot house side door. Let me describe the moment it fixes. On a conventional boat, you bring the boat alongside. Then you have to leave the wheel. Get out of the cabin, walk down a side deck, pick up a line, and step off. And every second of that, the boat is drifting and nobody is steering. That gap is where the stress lives, and it's where people fall and get injured. On the Voyager, the door is right beside the wheel. You steer the boat to the dock, open the door, and step off with a line already in your hand. The gap simply doesn't exist. Owners of these describe single-handing as a piece of cake specifically because of that door, and what's underneath is a serious little boat, not a toy. A heavy full-displacement Willard hull that feels solid and safe when the water gets rough, and sips about a gallon an hour. It's 15,000 pounds of boat that behaves like something much bigger in a seaway, while staying small enough to handle everywhere else. What to look for? These are older, so survey the engine and tanks carefully. But once you've used a helm door, you'll never want a boat without one. The next boat is the modern no projects version of this same idea. Number 4, the Beneteau Swift Trawler 30. This is the boat for someone who wants everything to just work. No restoration projects, no learning to nurse 40-year-old systems. Beneteau designed this specifically for short-handed cruising, and it shows a helm door, a bow thruster, big windows with excellent sight lines all around, and modern systems that mostly look after themselves. Everything that used to require muscle or a second pair of hands has been engineered into a control. And there's a psychological benefit to a modern boat that people underestimate. When you're doing this on your own, reliability is confidence. Knowing the engine will start, the electronics will work, and nothing needs coaxing means you actually go out instead of finding reasons not to. It also has enough speed to get home ahead of weather when you want it, which is a genuine safety feature for a solo skipper. What to look for? Later models have the most refined helm setups. Pay a bit more for one with the thruster and good electronics already fitted, because those are exactly the features keeping you on the water. The final 3 are the boats built from the keel up around a single person. Number 3, the American Tug 34. This boat feels designed by someone who has actually docked a boat alone in a crosswind. It has the helm side door. It has a thruster as standard on most. But what pushes it up this list is something people don't think about until it matters. The side decks. They're wide, they're protected, and the handrails are high and in the right places. When you do need to move around the boat, setting fenders, checking a line, dealing with something at the bow, you're walking securely with something to hold on to. You're not edging along a narrow ledge. That single design choice removes an enormous amount of risk. And risk is what makes people give up boating. Falls are the thing that actually ends boating careers, far more often than any dramatic emergency. On top of that, the American Tug is big enough to genuinely live aboard and cruise seriously with excellent visibility and a simple, accessible single diesel. You're not trading capability for safety, you're getting both. What to look for? Confirm the thruster and walk the side decks yourself before you buy. If they feel secure to you, that's the answer. The next one is the boat that made solo trawler cruising normal. Number 2, the Nordic Tug 32. This is the boat that proved a real, serious cruising trawler could also be a one-person boat. And decades of solo skippers have been proving it ever since. It has all the essentials: the pilot house door beside the helm, a single efficient diesel, compact size with genuine range, and handling so predictable that docking becomes routine rather than an event. But the reason it sits at number 2 is the complete picture. It's tough enough for genuinely big water, so you're not nervous about a forecast. It's economical enough to cruise as much as you want. And it holds its value stubbornly, which means the boat isn't draining your finances while you own it. For a solo skipper, that combination is what turns "I can manage" into "I can do this for another 15 years." Walk any marina in the Pacific Northwest and you'll find silver-haired captains, men and women both, running these entirely alone, week in and week out. The boat isn't a compromise for them. It's the reason they're still out there. What to look for? Thrusters are common but not universal on older ones, so check. And expect to pay a fair price, because these do not sell cheap for exactly the reasons we just covered. Which brings us number 1, the Ranger Tug R29. This is number 1 because it takes the hardest job on any boat, putting it in a slip-in wind, alone, and turns it into a button. Bow and stern thrusters together mean you can move the entire boat sideways, precisely with fingertip pressure. Not muscle, not timing, not luck. You press, the boat moves sideways. You stop, Owners joke that it docks itself, and having watched people do it, that's not much of an exaggeration. Everything else follows the same philosophy. Every control within arm's reach at the helm, excellent all-around visibility, a single modern diesel that's efficient and reliable, and a powered windlass so the anchor is a button too. And then there's the feature nothing else on this list can match. It fits on a trailer. That means total independence, keep it at home, launch where you want, take it across the country if you feel like it, and never depend on a marina, a slip waiting list, or someone else's help. Put all of that together, and you get the thing this entire video is about. A boat where every single job that used to require strength or a second person has been engineered into something you can do yourself, calmly on your own schedule. Nobody has to sell a boat because they're alone now. They just need a boat that was built for one. What to look for? Newer model years have the most refined thruster setups, and clean used ones move fast because everyone who has docked one alone understands immediately what they're looking at. So there they are, 7 trawlers one person can handle alone, and the specific features that make it possible. The door beside the helm, thrusters that replace muscle, a powered windlass, wide safe decks, and sight lines that let you see what you're doing. And I want to end on the thing I said at the start, because I think it matters. When someone finds themselves on the water alone, everyone around them assumes it's over. It isn't. The knowledge doesn't disappear. The love of it doesn't disappear. What changes is that a few jobs now need to be engineered instead of muscled. And that's a boat problem with a boat solution. There are women in every marina in this country running boats like these entirely on their own, going wherever they want, and they'll tell you the same thing. The hardest part was believing they could. Now, if you're thinking about making a change, you should also know what these boats actually cost to own year to year, because that's the other thing that decides whether this life works. I made a whole video on the real cost of owning a trawler with the numbers nobody tells you. It's right here, and it's the perfect next watch. And if you want more straight talk like this, subscribe. I'll see you there.